So today, guys, I want to take a look at a tool here I bought recently at Lowe's. It's the Kobalt 3-inch 24-volt trigger switch brushless cordless multi-material cutter. It is the item number 1076083, model number KMC 224B-03. Now this tool comes without a battery. I state that because when I've had other Kobalt tool reviews and I state that it doesn't have a battery, there'll be people complaining that they bought it, they didn't know it didn't come with a battery, they didn't check it, the box, to see, but this does not come with a battery. You gotta buy that separate. It's $109, tool only. But when I bought this, they had a deal going that if you bought this Kobalt battery charger that included these two batteries, and they are the 24-volt max 4-amp-hour extended run, you buy those three items for $149, you could get a tool of your choice. Since I have so many Kobalt cordless tools, the one I hadn't had yet was this 3-inch saw. So let me check that out. And this is the number of the 4-amp-hour lithium-ion battery and charger kit. As with all other cordless tools, you will get a manual. Now I have to say, with this 4-amp-hour battery, this is nicely balanced. I really like it. Looking at the supplied blades, you get 3 metal cutoffs, you get a carbide abrasive, and then you get a diamond tile blade. And they have a 3/8-inch diameter hole, which is required for the arbor on this tool. So let's take a look at some of the features of this tool. As with all their other cordless tools, it has this type of rubberized, the black material for a good grip. Here's your trigger switch, and it's got a lock. So if we look at it from the top, right now it's in a lock position, but if we push this over like that, that releases, and then again that locks. So that's your safety, because whenever you've got a saw, you want to be careful. You pick it up, if you got this down alongside your leg, for some reason you bump the switch, that may not be a good thing. So I do like trigger locks like that, and I like this one because it's simple. Just push it over. You can do it with your thumb or your finger. Very easy to do, being held in your hand. Now obviously, to adjust the depth of cut, you have this shoe, and then you have this locking mechanism. This allows you to bring the shoe up and down, thus varying the depth of cut required for the project. Now while we're on this end of the saw, this has got an interesting feature that you can rotate this guard, which obviously has the shoe attached to it. So the way it's set up right now, you would be cutting with it in this angle. And it's got 4 different positions. So now I can take and bring it, there's one click stop. Now the saw's up like this. Second click stop, saw's up like this. And then like this. Very nice. And that's the highest setting right there. And then that would allow the saw, if there for some reason you wanted this up in a higher position. I did buy some 3-inch blades off of Amazon by this company Fox BC. And as you can see, I got a 36 tooth and an 80 tooth, and there's 3 per pack. The 80 tooth comes with a 3/8 inch arbor. On the other hand, the 36 tooth has a 7/16 inch arbor, which is a 1/16 of an inch bigger than 3/8, but it came with a 3/8 inch bushing. In fact, there's 3 of them. So each package, both of these blade sets had 3 blades in them, and so this particular one, requiring the bushing, does come with 3 bushings. And here you see those 3 bushings inside the pack as they come from the manufacturer. Now I showed you those blades just so that you know you can get blades other than what Kobalt has, but we're going to go and put these blades on this saw, and I thought I'd show you a nice feature I like about this wind changing blades. First, you need this hex tool, Allen wrench, to take the bolt off the arbor, and so as you can see, it nests very nicely in the location here that they provide in this tool. Very nice. Now this next feature I really like because it doesn't require you pushing in on something and then using your other hand to tighten down the tool when taking on or off a blade. So very simply, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate this. So looking at it from this position, you go clockwise to tighten it and counterclockwise to loosen this bolt. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this clockwise. And so what you do is take this button and you just put some pressure on it. And then you see that go in? We'll do it again. Put a little pressure on that. Then as you rotate, and then as you do this, whether you're taking it on or off the blade, this will fall into the proper position and lock right there. And now that's it. I don't have to hold this. I literally can put the blade on or remove it without having to hold an arbor lock. So I really like that. So let me grab a blade and we shall install, and we'll do a demonstration of this tool cutting. Alright, so here you see I've got that bushing to make the 7/16 hole 3/8. Now the problem's going to be that you've got, let me grab that. You've got this piece here. You see it's got that undercut. Well, that has to go on like this, with the undercut up and with the taper side down so that it doesn't hit any of these bolts. So in doing so, the problem is that you want to make sure you get that bushing in before you put it on the arbor, or it'll slide down into there and it won't work. So what you want to do is carefully put that on there just like that. Then put the top piece on like that. Then go ahead and put your bolt in. And then we'll crank this down just like that. And now all you've got to do is release the arbor lock and we're good to go to cut. So I just thought I'd mention that. Don't put that bushing on first. It's got to be on the actual blade, and then slip it on. And once again, with that blade in there, remember I said earlier I like the way that lock was, because you can operate it, because there is no guard that swings over that blade. So if you've got this down by your side, you could do some damage. So again, what I like is the fact that when holding it in your hand, to unlock it, all I've got to do is hit whatever finger is on this side, whether it's in your right or left hand, push it. Now that unlocks it. So definitely want to make sure you use that lock when the tool is not being used for your safety. Now this also has a light on it so that it will illuminate your work surface. And it does shut off automatically. As you can see, it says forward and reverse. So right now it's in forward, then it's in reverse. So let's go to forward. I'm going to turn it on, and with it on, I'm going to try to push reverse. We'll see what happens. So you'll note that it cannot be changed when it's in the run mode. You cannot change forward and reverse. Alright guys, so now we're going to do some cutting. And you're going to say, well, now why did you reverse the blade? Well, because the way I had it before in the forward position, the blade was going this way and the teeth were going down. The teeth were the other direction. They were pointing down, which would lift up your saw. You'd have to force it down. That's not safe. You want the blade, so we got to go in reverse. And now you'll see that the blade is going this way. So as the work goes into it, the blade's coming up this way. And just remember, with that blade exposed like that, when you're done cutting, now this is the grass right here, so once it stops I could set it down. But if you're going to be setting it down on a hard surface, you want to make sure you set the saw something like that, because there's no blade guard to protect the teeth of the blade if you're cutting on top of concrete or whatever it might be. And also, even if it's like you're doing some cutting, and you set it down on a piece of wood. So that's the only thing about this saw. Without a guard blade, you want to be real careful.